Hello everybody, and welcome again to the Oakland Zoo. My name is Amber, you might have seen me before. Today we are at our zebra yard and you're going to be watching us do a zebra training session. So right over here we've got Ashley and Stacy. Those are our two that are working our zebra Moki today. Stacy's the one that just waved at you guys. Moki is a Grant's zebra and she's an older girl. Both of our zebras that we currently have are in their 20s. And what Stacy's working on right now is having Moki come in and allow her to touch her. And that's really important for a lot of medical reasons. One of the most important behaviors we're also working on with our zebras right now is to actually get a voluntary blood draw. And that's important because zebras are very hard to figure out if there's anything wrong with them. The best way to get information on a lot of animals is to actually test blood and see if they've got any values that are off or any problems like anemia. So being able to take that blood with Moki voluntarily letting us draw it means that we don't have to anesthetize her to get that blood sample. That means we can check on her health as she continues to get older. So Stacy is very slowly teaching all these different steps, like sticking her hand in there to hold off the vein, letting it fill with blood, and that is a blunted needle that she's touching her with in the same vein area, getting her used to the feel of that needle as well as the sight of it too. Sometimes just the sight of these things is kind of scary. Moki stands here getting her favorite treats while Stacy does this.
What are her favorite treats?
She's getting horse cookies. So they're just like the same horse treats you'd buy at a hoofstock store or any specialty pet store. She also does get fresh carrots too, but the cookies are the best. Ashley's showing some of those off there. Now, she does know different words. You'll notice Stacy's using certain cues, like hold before she holds off the vein, poke before she pokes her with the blunted needle, and other behaviors as well.
And line up.
So now Stacy's going to ask her to stand in line with her, so her face is towards her. It is a really warm day. Moki seems to be feeling that, that's for sure.
I'm going to bring her back around. It's okay. Line up.
So Stacy's just relining her up. Let's see if she feels like it.
Good.
Oh,
Line
mostly. Now, just like us, the animals do tend to be a little more off on these hot days.
Back
But
up.
having this line-up behavior, very nice, allows us to work with our animals and put them in the position we need in order to work with them. So Moki's trained for those side touches and injections, as well as letting Stacy touch the side of her face. She holds her nose against a target very still. And we're also working on teaching her to put her mouth on a large stick so we can actually check her teeth. Kind of like a visit to the dentist, but zebra style.
Now, why would you want to be able to touch their face? What's the purpose of that?
It again is one more thing that just to desensitize them to. It also allows us to get a good look at their face too. If she has a cut or a scab on that face, we'd be able to feel it or treat it. Eventually, we'd like to even be able to train our zebras to take medicines. So most of the people with pets at home have a hard enough time getting their dog or cat to take pills. So imagine trying to get a zebra to take medicine is not always easy.
We're going to go ahead and try to touch down the leg a little bit. Okay. So Ashley, go ahead and feed her heavy. Okay.
So the next thing Stacy's working on is actually a hoof pickup. Just like horses, they can have hoof problems. Luckily, our girls here haven't had many at all. So Stacy's working on teaching Moki to let her touch down her leg and eventually pick up that hoof so we can check it or trim it if needed. So you can see it's a slow process. The nice thing about our training is this is completely voluntary. As you can see by the yard behind her, this is her exhibit. And if Moki didn't want to participate, she could easily walk away and not come back again. She'd still get fed, she'd get her whole diet, she'd miss out on all the goodies, but she can choose to participate or not, which is really nice. And as you can see, she definitely likes to.
She doesn't seem to mind.
No, not at all. You can tell that this is Moki and not Stormy, and here's a good shot of it, because right above her right eye, she's got that little spot there. So when any of our guests viewing this right now come by the zoo next, they can try to tell the zebras apart, and that little spot is very helpful.
Jeremy wants to know, how do zebras communicate?
They communicate by a lot of visual cues. So those ears are a main way of communication. They do also vocalize. It is not a sound I can imitate though. They do not neigh like a horse. It's kind of like a yipping sound almost. but they'll communicate by stomping, moving the ears, swishing the tail, and vocalizing as well.
And what kind of zebras are these here at the zoo?
So these are Grant zebras. There are a lot of different kinds, including grevies, which is another common one that you'll find at many zoos. The grevy zebras tend to have much thinner stripes, more distributed around the entire body. And they also tend to be a little bit larger and often a little more aggressive as well.
Still?
They're pretty feisty.
And we have 2 zebras.
We have 2 right now. We are in the process of acquiring more. So hopefully if you come by in the next few months, you might see some more zebras on exhibit. Alright, so that's Stacy letting Moki know that we're all done. We always end with a nice handful of carrots as a final treat. Stacy, is there anything you'd like to add about your session today?
No, I could tell she was a little agitated in the beginning because she had a couple of flies on her feet, but so I went a little easy in the beginning because I know that this is a different setting for her, and gave her extra cookies at certain times, and she is really happy and eager to participate. She likes to figure things out. She likes to get reinforced, and we usually have really nice sessions when we just start slow and see how she feels. And she, once again, cooperated and had a nice day with us, so it was nice to have her.
Well, thanks for letting us tag along.
Yeah. You can probably get up closer if you want to end on that. Just don't let her eat your phone. Stormy's the one that'll run away, but Moki doesn't care.
Thanks, Moki. Stay cool today.
Having the phone close up to her, she's been desensitized to that too. That's part of when we have an open mouth behavior where we get to see the teeth, and then we actually desense her to letting us put a flashlight and phones and things so we can take pictures and see the teeth. So that's why she's so calm about this.
Does not seem fazed by me being here. You're beautiful.
Good ending, Moki.